Hello, this video is for Susan Pacific University. My name is Helen Hirong. Today it is Sunday, October 14th. And today what I'm going to discuss is for Bio 240. And I'm going to discuss the functions of the digestive system. So as we know, the digestive system's main function is to break down the foods we eat, release nutrients, and absorb those nutrients into the body. So I'm going to just go through some of the body systems that we have in our body, and then I'll explain the processes of them and how they help aid. So we start first with the mouth, the tongue, the teeth, the salivary glands, and we have the pharynx and the esophagus. We have our other accessory glands that are considered part of the digestive system, but they're like a subspecialty. That's how I remember them, which is the liver and the gallbladder. We have the stomach, we have the small intestine and the large intestine, and then our end game, which is our anus or rectum. We know that when we start eating, we have the mouth, and in there we have the tongue, the teeth, and they help with chewing and digestion of food that we eat, and then also the salivary glands help in lubricating the food that we have. Like we're eating a dry cookie, it needs the salivary glands to help in providing lubrication for that cookie to go down our pharynx and then eventually to our esophagus. Interesting enough, the epiglottis, it's not mentioned part of the digestive system, but I feel that's an important thing to mention because our epiglottis has two functions. So there's a flap. It's kind of like turning a faucet on and off. When you have food down it, it makes sure that the flap is closed so the food doesn't go down to your lungs. When we need to breathe, it opens up, and it's so smart to know how our body knows that, how to change that, and how the chemicals in our mouth and everything indicate the body to prepare itself to digest, to eat. So when we're eating, that flap closes, so again our food won't go into our lungs, and then when we breathe, it knows that it needs to be open so we can breathe. So that's why the folk tell that when you were little, your mom would tell you, don't eat when you're talking. And you're like, why? It makes sense. It's just because when you're talking, you need to breathe. So then when you're talking, you're breathing, it can go down the wrong pipe, which actually can happen. So then we have the stomach, the small intestines, and the large intestines. Actually, what I learned, I thought majority of the food would be processed in the large intestines, but it's the small intestines that handles that. They basically get all the nutrients, all the vitamins, all the water that needs to be absorbed. It happens in the small intestines. The large intestines job basically is to get the excess that the small intestines do not have and break it down. And if it still needs more nutrients to our body, then it'll take care of handling that. But it will create the feces, and then our end game, which is defecation. And then in the stomach you have the bile that creates all that. It has to have that perfect balance, and that's what it's for. And this concludes the end of the video. Thank you and have a great night.